Some people are too experienced to simply vanish. Steve Fossett was one of them. By 2007, Fossett was one of the most accomplished adventurers alive. He'd flown a balloon around the world, alone. He'd flown a plane around the world, alone, without stopping. He held records in the air, on the water, in nearly every form a person could set one. He was 63, methodical and calm under pressure, the kind of pilot other pilots described as unflappable. On the morning of September 3, 2007, he took off from a private airstrip in western Nevada, the Flying M Ranch, owned by the hotel magnate Baron Hilton. It was supposed to be a short flight. He was scouting flat, dry lake beds for a future land speed record attempt. A couple of hours in the air over the high desert, then back for lunch. He didn't take much. No real survival plan for an overnight. Why would he? It was a short hop in good weather, in country he was flying for fun. He never came back. When Fossett didn't return, a friend reported him missing, and what followed became the largest search of its kind in American history. Military aircraft, Black Hawk helicopters with infrared cameras flying low enough to pick out a coyote on the ground, satellites, and something unusual, tens of thousands of ordinary people online scanning fresh satellite imagery of the Nevada desert from their computers, square by square, looking for the glint of a downed plane. The search covered an enormous area, by some accounts thousands of square miles of mountain and desert, and it turned up something no one expected. The searchers found wreckage, old wreckage. They located the remains of around 8 previously unknown crash sites scattered across that landscape, planes that had gone down years before that no one had ever found. But not Steve Fossett, not his plane, not a signal, not a trace. After weeks, the search was called off. In early 2008, a court declared him legally dead. And that should have been the strangest part, that a famous man in a distinctive aircraft, hunted by the full weight of the military and the public, had simply dissolved into the desert. Except, a year later, the desert gave part of him back. In the fall of 2008, a hiker walking the Sierra Nevada near Mammoth Lakes, California, found something on the ground. Identification cards in the name of James Stephen Fossett, a worn sweatshirt, and around $1,000 in cash. It set off a new search, and this time it worked. They found the wreckage of his plane in the mountains on the California side of the line. His remains were scattered some distance from the crash, having been exposed to the elements and to animals for over a year. DNA confirmed it was him. The plane was found, but the questions didn't close with it. So let's separate what we know from what we don't. Confirmed. Steve Fossett, one of the most capable aviators in the world, took off on a short flight over western Nevada on September 3, 2007, and crashed. The largest civilian air search in U.S. history failed to find him, while uncovering the wrecks of other long-lost planes. His belongings, and then his crash site, were finally found more than a year later in the Sierra Nevada in California. Unconfirmed. Nearly everything in between. Why a pilot of his skill went down at all in weather that wasn't severe. How the most sophisticated search ever mounted missed a plane that a hiker's stumble eventually helped locate. Why his identification and cache turned up separately, miles of rough country away from what remained of the aircraft. And there's the place itself. That stretch of the Sierra Nevada and the Great Basin has a name among pilots, the Nevada Triangle. Over the decades, a startling number of aircraft are said to have vanished in its airspace, some never found at all. The search for Fossett alone uncovered 8 of them. It is country that sits near restricted military land, and that proximity has fed every kind of theory. Strange turbulence that shouldn't exist, downdrafts that swallow planes whole, and the explanations that go further than that, into things no one can prove. None of it is established. No phenomenon has ever been documented bringing an aircraft down there. What exists is a triangle of desert and mountain that has quietly collected lost planes for as long as people have flown over it. A man who had beaten the sky on every continent went up for a short flight on a clear day, and the most powerful search ever assembled couldn't find him, in a place that has been losing aircraft for generations. What really happened in the airspace over the Nevada Triangle that morning? Nearly 20 years later, no one can fully say.